The world is a strange place. You probably know that already, because, well, you've lived in it long enough. But thanks to a fascination with wonderful stories and a habit of wandering into history's oddest corners, we've come across some truly unbelievable people. Of course, not every strange story is worth telling, but that's not what we're here for today. We're looking at the people so unusual, so bizarre, and so strange that most of us never even knew they existed. So, ready to meet them? Well, let's get started. Number 15. Johanna Watkins Well. We know a lot of people are allergic to peanuts, water, the sun, or maybe even cats. But imagine becoming allergic to almost everything, including the person you love most. That's the reality Johanna Watkins has been living with for years. She suffers from an exceptionally severe form of mast cell activation syndrome, which is a rare disorder that causes her immune system to treat ordinary things as dangerous threats. Certain foods, common chemicals, dust, perfume, changes in air pressure, and even spending too much time near her husband, Scott, can trigger life-threatening reactions. Their home in Minneapolis had to be completely redesigned with air filtration systems, sealed rooms, and a pressurized living space where Johanna stays isolated to keep her alive. Scott lives separately inside the same house, communicating through phones and glass because remaining beside her for too long could send her into anaphylaxis. Even today, her diet remains extremely limited, and daily life revolves around avoiding triggers rather than treating the illness itself. But despite everything, the couple continues to lean on faith and love. Number 14. Zahad and Zia Now. Let's be real. Have you ever seen a man who can give birth? Well, sure you have seen a lot, like Bennett Caspar Williams, who welcomed a healthy baby by cesarean, or Thomas Beatty, who made headlines back in 2008. But Zahad's story added another unforgettable chapter. While transitioning in Kerala, Zahad had already undergone chest surgery and started hormone therapy when he and his partner, Zia Pavel, realized they wanted a child together. Rather than giving up on parenthood, Zahad paused treatment before the final surgery that would have removed his reproductive organs. Months later, he carried the pregnancy himself. Their baby arrived healthy in 2023, making headlines across India and far beyond. Zahad later explained that becoming pregnant gave him the rare chance to experience both fatherhood and childbirth in the same lifetime. The couple faced endless criticism online, but they kept sharing their journey openly. Their family doesn't fit the picture many people expect, but still, they are happy. Number 13. Claire Broadwell. We know how mad it sounds. We mean, how can someone talk to people who aren't even alive anymore? Claire Broad has been hearing voices she believes belong to the dead since she was 4 years old. During a walk through a cemetery, she says her late grandfather appeared beside her and asked her to pass a private message to her grandmother using a nickname only he ever used. The reaction stunned everyone around her. As she grew older, the experiences became harder to ignore. She described seeing shadowy figures, smelling familiar perfumes with no source, and receiving vivid images that felt like memories belonging to strangers. Instead of running from it forever, Claire eventually trained as a spiritual medium and built a career giving readings to grieving families. Skeptics call it imagination. Believers call it a gift. Claire isn't interested in winning that argument. She simply says the messages arrive, and her job is to pass them on. Whether you believe her or not, her story has fascinated millions. Number 12. Frank Selak. If anyone ever looked like they had 9 lives, it was Frank. The Croatian music teacher somehow survived disasters that sound more like movie scenes than real life. His unbelievable run began in 1962 when a train carrying him jumped the tracks and crashed into an icy river. He escaped with a broken arm and hypothermia. A year later, he was on a flight when a door suddenly flew open, pulling him out of the aircraft. Incredibly, he survived after landing on a haystack. That still wasn't the end of it. A bus he was riding plunged into a river, but Frank swam to safety. Then came 2 separate car fires, both ending with him climbing out just before the vehicles exploded. After that, a city bus hit him, and not long after that, he narrowly avoided death again when a truck crashed into his car. Most people would have stopped leaving the house. Frank didn't. Then, in one final twist nobody could have predicted, he bought a lottery ticket in 2003 and won nearly $1 million. And this luckiest unlucky man died very peacefully in 2016 at the age of 87. Number 11. Harry Matadine So. Is pee the fountain of youth? Well, how should I say, but for this vegan man, the answer is an unbelievable yes. Harry Matadine has spent years doing something most people can't even imagine, drinking his own urine every single day. Not just fresh urine either, he often stores it for weeks before taking around 200 milliliters as part of what he calls urine therapy. Harry believes the habit pulled him out of depression, eased his social anxiety, sharpened his thinking, and even knocked years off his appearance. That's only part of the routine. He also rubs it into his face, uses it on his skin, and insists it's the best beauty treatment he's ever found. His family finds the practice disturbing, and some relationships have fallen apart because of it. Doctors strongly disagree with his claims, pointing out there's no reliable scientific evidence that drinking or applying urine provides these benefits, and warning that it may even be harmful. Harry remains completely unmoved. To him, the strangest medicine imaginable became a way of life. Number 10. Lachiman Gurung One Man. One good hand. Nearly 200 enemy soldiers. It almost sounds made up, but it really happened. During World War II, Gurkha rifleman Lachiman was guarding his position near Tongda in Burma while the rest of his unit rested. That night, Japanese troops launched a surprise attack. Grenades started landing inside his trench. Lachiman grabbed the first one and threw it back. Then another. The third exploded before he could get rid of it, blowing away the fingers on his right hand and tearing through his arm, leg, and face. Most people would have been finished right there. Lachiman wasn't. Using only his left hand, he kept loading and firing his rifle for the next 4 hours, refusing to give up his position as wave after wave of soldiers charged toward him. When daylight finally came, the attack had failed. Around 31 enemy soldiers had been killed near his post, and his trench was still standing. For that unbelievable and unreal courage, Lachiman received the Victoria Cross, Britain's highest award for bravery. Number 9. Nevan Siganovi. There are people who hope cosmetic surgery makes them younger. Nevan was never chasing youth. He was chasing something different. One operation became another, then another, until changing his appearance stopped being an event and became part of daily life. Brand new cheekbones, reshaped eyes, fuller lips, nose surgeries, brow procedures. Hardly any feature escaped his attention. Friends questioned where it would end. Nevan's answer never changed. It wouldn't. Even a disastrous operation that caused serious health issues failed to convince him to quit. While others saw a warning, he saw another obstacle to work around. That's what fascinates people about him. He isn't trying to convince anyone that he was born this way, and he doesn't expect universal approval. His face reflects an image he's been building for decades, one procedure at a time. Some people call that obsession. Nevan calls it honesty. He's never wanted to look like everyone else. Looking ordinary was the one outcome he refused to accept. Number 8. Glenn Stevens. Before anyone notices Glenn Stevens' feet, he hopes they'll notice the man attached to them. Every step has come with pain for as long as he can remember. Glenn lives with ectrodactyly, often called lobster claw syndrome, a rare condition that left both feet split down the middle. Even simple things, climbing out of his truck, walking across the yard, standing too long, can leave his ankles throbbing for hours. the left foot gives him the most trouble, swelling badly and making everyday life far harder than it looks. Yet he still goes to work, still jokes with his wife Sharon, and still refuses to let the condition define every conversation. During one virtual medical appointment, Sharon even laughed while showing his foot to the camera, easing the tension with humor. Behind the smile, though, Glenn hopes for something life-changing. Surgery that could finally bring lasting relief. He's not chasing perfection. After decades of living with constant discomfort, he'd settle for something far simpler a day that doesn't hurt from the very first step. Number 7. Jasmine. The inspiring hero funny how the smallest change can quietly turn your whole life upside down. For Jasmine, it began with pale little marks that barely seemed worth mentioning. They didn't hurt. They didn't itch. So she ignored them. Months passed, and those tiny patches slowly spread across her skin until doctors finally explained what was happening. Vitiligo had begun stripping away her natural pigment. The diagnosis was easier to hear than what came afterward. Mirrors became enemies. Every new spot felt like another piece of herself disappearing. She spent years trying to outsmart the condition with makeup, long sleeves, and forced confidence. None of it lasted. Then one day she asked herself a different question. Instead of how do I hide this, she wondered, why am I hiding at all? And that shift changed everything. Jasmine later founded Tough Skin, giving people with visible differences a place where they didn't have to apologize for existing. Number 6. Jeff, the real champ. Well, if Jeff offers you a handshake, don't give him a limp one. He'll probably tease you for it. That's just his sense of humor. Behind the jokes sits a lifetime of challenges that would have broken many people. Thalidomide, the drug linked to thousands of birth defects decades ago, left Jeff with shortened limbs and vision in only one eye. Years later, that remaining eyesight has almost disappeared, too. Growing up meant special schools, lowered expectations, and strangers deciding what he could or couldn't do before he even spoke. He eventually reached a point where he asked himself a simple question. Who was the glass eye really for? The answer wasn't him. So he stopped wearing it altogether. Since then, he's focused on living honestly instead of comfortably for other people. Skiing, mentoring, speaking, and cracking jokes whenever he gets the chance, Jeff keeps proving that confidence comes from refusing to pretend. Number 5. Micah Stauffer family channels are supposed to capture real life. Micah did something very different. It turned one little boy into the center of a business. Together with her husband, Micah shares every step of adopting Huxley from China, a kid with autism and additional medical needs. Millions followed the journey. Brand deals multiplied. Companies lined up to sponsor the growing family, and the channel exploded in popularity. Then came a video nobody expected. In 2020, the couple revealed that Huxley had been placed with another family because they could no longer meet his needs. The internet didn't see it as an adoption story ending. It saw a child disappearing after years of generating views. Outrage spread almost overnight. Sponsors walked away, followers vanished, and critics accused the couple of turning parenthood into content before treating a child like something that could be returned. Few influencer stories have collapsed quite so publicly. Huxley found another home. Micah's online empire never truly recovered. Number 4. Daeshun Wang. People love saying it's too late to start over. Daeshun spent decades proving the opposite. Long before magazine covers and fashion runways, his days looked ordinary. He drove buses, worked factory jobs, supported his family, and built a quiet life like millions of others. Then, after turning 60, he made a decision that surprised everyone around him. He started lifting weights, trained his body, studied acting, and later stepped into the world of fashion. Nearly 20 years later, an appearance at Beijing Fashion Week changed everything. His silver beard, powerful physique, and effortless confidence spread across the internet almost overnight. Suddenly, an 80-year-old grandfather had become an international model. The attention never changed his outlook. He simply kept doing what he'd already been doing for years, learning, training, and refusing to let birthdays make decisions for him. Now approaching 90, Dashun isn't trying to look young. He's showing the world that ambition doesn't retire just because of age. Number 3. Clive wearing every morning feels like the first morning of Clive's life. 30 seconds later, that morning is gone again. A devastating case of viral encephalitis tore through his brain, stealing almost every memory he could make. Conversations evaporate before they finish. Meals disappear from his mind while he's still eating them. His diary became pages of desperate entries, each insisting he'd only just regained consciousness. Yet something extraordinary survived the damage. Place Clive in front of a piano and watch what happens. His hands never hesitate. Every note arrives exactly where it should, guided by instincts stronger than memory itself. The same miracle appears whenever his wife Deborah walks into the room. He greets her with overwhelming joy every single time, as though years have passed since they last embraced, even if she stepped away only moments earlier. His past slips away endlessly, but love and music refuse to let go. Number 2. Bibi. The bimbo-looking ordinary was never on Bibi Bugatti's list of goals. Every cosmetic procedure moved her farther from the version of herself everyone else expected and closer to the one she imagined. Originally from the Netherlands, Bibi grew tired of hearing that she wore too much makeup, loved too much glamour, or had gone too far with fillers. So she stopped listening. Over the years, more than 50, 00 went into reshaping her appearance from facial enhancements to body procedures that transformed almost every feature. Today, she calls Dubai home, where she continues embracing a look that turns heads wherever she goes. Strangers see attention-seeking. Bibi sees freedom. She often explains that none of it is about impressing other people or fitting modern beauty standards. Quite the opposite. The surgeries gave her ownership over her own reflection. Plenty of people stare. Others criticize. Neither changes how she feels when she catches herself in the mirror. For Bibi, that's the only opinion that has ever counted. Number 1. Ariana. Before most people even think about breakfast, Ariana has already faced the hardest part of her day. Living with epidermolysis bullosa means even the smallest bit of friction can leave painful blisters across her skin. Every morning begins with fresh bandages, cleaning, and protecting wounds that may reopen before the day is over. Then comes something that surprises a lot of people: makeup. Not because she's trying to hide her condition, but because it's one part of the day she completely controls. Her videos show both realities without pretending either one doesn't exist. The dressings stay. The scars stay. So does the confidence. Through TikTok, Ariana shares the difficult moments alongside the ordinary ones, reminding people that chronic pain doesn't erase personality. There isn't a cure waiting around the corner, and she knows that. Instead of putting life on hold, she's built one anyway. That quiet decision, repeated every single day, says far more than any filter ever could. Well, what do you think about these people? Let us know. And be sure to give this video a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.